Good afternoon everybody from a very wet and windy North London. Good weather for our interests. Just going to show you some more of the Strelets Great Boer War figures which I've built up. I've got here a number of Boer artillerymen. Now this is of the new range that Strelets have brought in. They had a range of Boer infantry about 10 or more years ago, and British infantry, which were altogether much more crude. I've got there the pom-pom gun, so named because of its noise that it made when it fired. Well, there's a 15-pounder there. And the infantry figures are a fairly simple conversion. They're Highland infantry with the heads of Strelet Australian Lancers. They started out, the British, with pith helmets, as you can see on the gunners here. And by the end of the war, they'd adopted various costume to favour the conditions and for camouflage, and the Scots still kept their kilts but with an apron at the front, so the tartan is not visible from this side. You can see them there, they're Argyll and Sutherland Highland tartan, but the heads, as I say, they have been put on with they've been put on with pins. They would have had the regular pith helmets, but they've now got the slouch hats. And I did a representation of 8 or so of those. Not the finest work ever, but you know, for in terms of conversion, it's quite effective. As I say, late war British infantry, when they started to really adapt to the conditions and started to fight more of a guerrilla war. We have here, I believe it's a Crusoe gun. It's the one of the larger Boer War artillery pieces that came as a kit with crew from Strelets, basic assembly. Not a bad little piece. It does, until you actually handle it, it does look like it's quite heavy. I managed to get a sort of rusty effect on that, and quite pleased with that. And the guns, the British pom-pom guns are picked out in green, a kind of military green, and the Boer ones, which I've shown on a previous occasion, in grey. This is just a brief update on my Swiss infantry from Ultimate Ratio, 1/72nd, gradually coming together. Picked out the flag bearers, got some stripes on the trousers, some armour still to go on, silver plate. The facial detail is very plain, but I hope it'll be picked out when I do the washes. Got various washes to go on there. These are from the Canton Uri with their bull ensign, and some drummers there, and yeah, they were quite nice to paint up. I'm still enjoying them. I'm picking away at them. I'm putting little bits and bits of stripes on and highlights, and yes, I think I did rather too many at once. I usually do favour the method of actually doing 6 or at most a dozen in one go. This time I took 2 boxes and I thought I'm going to go for it, and I am actually struggling a little bit in terms of knowing what's been painted on where. You know, I'm discovering each time I look at them a slight mistake here or an area of undercoat there, but all good fun. The other day I did put up a video, but the quality was so bad I've deleted it. I picked up another selection of boxes. These are from Redbox, the company called Redbox, and also the company called Mars. These are the Burgundians, who I believe from time to time were the enemies of the Swiss or their allies, or the Swiss were their allies, or very complicated. But Mars figures not the best ever. Nice box artwork, not quite Airfix, but looking quite appealing. And when you see the figures, you'll see that they are a little bit chunky, to say the least. Those wheels are going to take some carving out. Big blobs of plastic there. The guns don't look too bad. The figures themselves, again, they're not too bad. Got a fair bit of flash around the edges, but nice chap in the centre there, like a squire or a master gunner, sitting there with his tankard of ale. And somewhere in there is some quite nice figures. Again, a fair bit of mould line around the edges, but simple enough to scrape that off. Then the other ones was the Burgundian crossbowman. Nice artwork again, always is with Redbox, really. Quite a nice bit of colour on there. And their figures are a good deal better. Still a little bit of flash on there, but you got the Pavis, which was, I believe, the large shield that they put into the ground in front of them for cover. And you've got the rifleman. I nearly tried to say arquebuses or whatever that word is, but I'll stick with rifleman or gunman. And yeah, they're not too bad. They're got a bit of chunkiness to them, but they're not at all bad. And then there's boxes 1 and 2 of Burgundian infantry and knights. So I've kind of gone for Burgundians for no particular reason than that they're a bit different. I couldn't bring myself to actually get too enthusiastic about the French, but Burgundians, who I believe were our allies on occasions, I thought there was something a little bit different, and so I've gone for them. That's what they look like. They're again fairly clean cast figures. Halberds and axes and swords there. A little bit slender, but otherwise nice. And set number 2, again Burgundian infantry and knights. This is you know, a subject I'm going to try and stick with. I usually get sidetracked, as I say, TV documentaries, books, anything. I'm very easily led. And I'll be off up another avenue, you know, something else. I do particularly like colonial, but I'm going to try and stick with these. And you see there, they're pikemen, and again, not bad figures. I won't show you these because they're in dark brown plastic, and it just doesn't show up on camera. But yeah, I'm actually I'm hoping to complete the Swiss before too long, and then I shall start straight onto the Burgundians, and hopefully I'll be well into them before Christmas. And that's just the box top art of the ultimate ratio figures, the Swiss that you see there. I'm quite enjoying what I'm doing, and that's the important thing. I'm enjoying painting these, and I've got some others to show you. I keep promising to bring out, if I can find them, my government troops and Jacobites converted from the Airfix, Washington's Army, and War of Independence, British Grenadiers from the Airfix range on the one side, and the Highland, Waterloo Highland Infantry, which I converted into Jacobites before they became, well, many years before they became available. as Jacobites, but I've got to sort them out somewhere. I guess we're all the same. We've got stuff stacked up in boxes going back years, and it's just finding it, really. It's finding it. It's I'm very new to YouTube, and I never imagined I'd be showing anyone these figures, so they're all in boxes somewhere. And yeah, it does give you a certain burst of enthusiasm when you're showing to other people. I do appreciate your kind comments. I mean, the figures are what they are. They're done to the best of my ability with the resources and time I have available. And you know, I'm inspired by all your work. You know, everybody has been extremely decent in the comments section, and I appreciate that very much. It is very, very uplifting, and it makes you want to crack on. So anyway, that's how they're proceeding at the moment. I'm going to be finishing up hopefully with these before too long, and making the bases look all pretty, and then I shall, as I say, turn my attention to those Burgundians. I've only got 2 reference books, as I think I mentioned before, the Swiss at War and Armies of Burgundy, if I'm not misquoting the title, from Osprey, and I won't go into it any deeper than that on this occasion, but quite enjoying the colours, and the ultimate ratio figures are very nice. Hope you're all well, and all the best to everyone, and I'll speak to you next time. Thank you.